Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Jonathan Cohn, and today I have my book review of the book Honor Among Enemies by David Weber, the sixth book in the Honor Harrington series. I've been going through this series for almost a year now. I started it last November, and it has been super fun to go through. The first book, On Basilisk Station, is very good. I thought that Honor of the Queen and The Short Victorious War were fine. They were fine books. And then you had the best book of the series, just the best book of the series in Field of Dishonor. This is a superb science fiction novel. Like, I put this in my top 10 science fiction books because it's just that good. And then I have Flag and Exile, the fifth book, which is actually very entertaining, a good follow-up to Field of Dishonor. It's not the best, it's not quite as good as Field of Dishonor, but it's still very excellent. And then I have Honor Among Enemies, book 6, and this book just did everything that the previous books have done, just as good. The action, the military action in this book was pretty good, pretty entertaining. I loved what they did, the position that they put Honor Harrington in. I prefer what they did with her in Flag in Exile, where she's in charge of the military of a planet, Grayson, and she has to adapt that way to that kind of new military. And in this book, she has to go back into the Royal Manticoran Navy, and she has to be not be demoted, but she has to go back to being a captain instead of having her own navy and being an admiral. And so she does a great job there. And I really liked the dynamic that this produces for her. And she has to use different skills, and she has to try to use her friendships and things like that. And I also loved the minor characters in this book. There's a minor plot line where there's a character who's getting bullied, and everyone knows he's getting bullied, but nobody can prove it. And so they basically figure out, why don't we just have him train to be strong and then basically punch the bully the next time the bully does something mean to him. And then they have to figure out how to get around the legal stuff that happens, because you can't punch other people in the ship and get away with it. So that whole plotline was incredibly Horatio Hornblower. If you've watched the Horatio Hornblower series or read the books, there's a plotline about a duel that happens that was also very similar to Field of Dishonor. There was some similarities there, and there's some similarities that you can see here as well. In fact, Honor Harrington reads the Horatio Hornblower books in this book, and so it's kind of like, you're hitting it a little bit too much on the head, but it was still really cool to read. And then you have the whole political situation where you have the People's Republic of Haven fighting Manticore. There's the people of Silesia coming in, which I really enjoy reading about them. You have the people of Gustav Andermann coming in, and then you also have the pirates that they're fighting. And basically, there's a sequence where the Havenites are fighting the pirates and actually help take out the pirates, and the Manticorans come in and are like, "Thank you for helping us fight the pirates. Now surrender." And the way, we have to deal with the idea of having honor among enemies is actually really well done, and I really enjoyed that. Despite all my praises for the book so far, the book is really bloated. It's way too long. And the series even gets longer from here. I think that was a big mistake that David Weber made, is he starts just going longer and longer and longer, and he doesn't need it. He can do, in like less than 400 pages here, a superb storyline. You don't need all that extra stuff. And then here it just keeps getting longer. And it's still good, but it could have been shorter. This could have been easily 100 pages shorter, and it still would have told a fantastic story. I just think that he just feels like he wants to add in so much. He wants to cover so much, and it's not really necessary. But it was still delightful to read and super entertaining. So that's my review of Honor Among Enemies, a really well done book. Not my favorite of the series. I still think that Field of Dishonor is like way up there as the top book. And then I would say Flag and Exile, Honor Among Enemies, and On Basilisk Station are all like good runners up. They're all kind of in that same league of being 4-star books out of 5. Really good. This is a 5 out of 5. These are like 4 out of 5s. And then these are the 3 out of 5s. They were entertaining, but not the best. So I really enjoyed the book Honor Among Enemies. So if you've read this book, let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. And until next time, I'm Jonathan, and thank you for watching.